this will all be a dream, and all these days won't feel as bad as they feel right now. I gotta wait my turn and see what happens.
Hey everyone, this is Pete with another episode in the 30 plus that I'm making to promote this album, Silhouette Dafni songs performed by her friends. Today is a bonus episode. I'm in Sunland, California at Jeb Lipson's Big Scary Tree recording studios, and I'm going to interview Jeb about his history with Dafni. He recorded Dafni's second album, Drifting in Circles, and he recorded Dafni's final EP, And If We Say Goodbye. And without any more ado, I'm going to flip the camera around. If I could work out how to do that.
Can we get the makeup girl back in?
I am recording, but this is all going to be diddly.
Where's the wardrobe? No, don't delete the good stuff. Come on.
All right. Anyway, Jeb.
Hello.
Jeb, let's begin this interview with starting off talking about how you and Dafni became friends.
Well, many moons ago, I got a call out of the blue. I think I was advertising something for sale on Craigslist. It was a Digio 1, I think.
So that was Pro Tools, yeah.
What was that, like 1990 something, probably, right?
Dafni recorded, it was about 2005 when she recorded with you.
That would make sense because I tend to buy digital gear and hold on to it until it's really worthless. So, yeah, about 2004 maybe, I was selling a piece of gear, and Dafni called to buy it so she could make her own record in her living room. Mm-hmm. And I think I said, what do you want to do that for? Like, I don't charge that much. Come to my place and I'll make a record for you. It'll sound really good. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, and that's what happened. I think, did I sell her that anyway? No, I don't think I did. I sold it to somebody else.
You convinced her that it would be cheaper. And
I am not a salesman. I promise you. Like, I can't sell anything to anybody. But she came in and made that record, and it was, and I think we've been friends ever since.
I remember she was asking Jay Gowen, her friend Jay Gowen, if do you think this is what I should buy, this Pro Tools stuff?
Yeah.
And he said maybe he found it on Craigslist for her.
Maybe.
And then when she called you, he's like, "Oh, that's Jeb. I know Jeb. He's really cool."
That might have been.
That might be Jay Gowen.
It might have been the guy I ran into later on. We were just because all the good stuff we were going to talk about, we already just talked about. So
yeah,
this is all old hat now. So
yeah,
if it looks like super spontaneous, it's not. We're acting.
Maybe it was Jay Gowen. Yeah, because he was working in recording studios.
Yeah, I think so.
We were talking earlier about Jeb bumped into someone who said, "You're the guy who recorded Dafni." So I was wondering who that could possibly be.
He said he liked it, which was cool. No one usually get that. Usually get punched.
So this is going to be a good interview, I think.
Anyway, so we came to my old place downtown.
Yep.
And Big Scary Tree on 3rd and Alameda, where the butt trumpet sticker was still in the window until about a year and a half ago. It's now a sushi bar. I haven't eaten there yet.
Oh yeah, it's a very high-end one, I think.
I think it is.
I went down and did my preamble to one of my other videos down there.
Yeah, I think it's. I'm not sure.
I couldn't work out which one is it. Is it the bridal shop or is it the sushi bar?
Well, you're right. So there's the however you say how do you pronounce that German word for the sausage place on the corner?
The
Wurstküche or something. I don't know how to say it. There's too many umlauts. Yeah.
Wurstküche.
That's right.
My parents are German, so I
Wurstküche. I don't know. Anyway. And then next door to that used to be a printing shop. And then when the people bought the building to lease it out to the sausage people, they sandblasted the whole building on the interior and exterior, and all my gear got covered in like sand and brick and rock powder. I was kind of out of business for like 10 days or something, cleaning it all. But anyway, that's a different story. But and then there's what's used to be my studio, and then I think the bridal shop. So I think it's the sushi bar, bridal shop, then the big building, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It was like apartments or lofts or something.
And I don't know what they're doing at the sausage place to store their extra beer kegs, because that's what my studio was for about 6 years or 7 years. I was out in 2007. But I could have sworn we did Dafni way before I moved out of there. You sure we didn't do that earlier? Where's Drifting in Circles?
It was 2000 and that came out in 2005. So it might have been recorded in 2004. I don't remember.
3 maybe?
No. 2003 was when we did.
I could find those sessions. Oh, we never know because it was analog.
They were on tape.
We did it on tape. I remember now.
Daphne's first album, Red, came out in 2004.
That's right.
And then
That's right.
She immediately had enough new material to make a new album by the time the album came out. So it was probably around then we were thinking, well, we need something better to record with if we're going to record again at home.
Right.
So we'll get like something we can have multiple microphones.
You know, I haven't listened to this in such a long time. Norma, I love that song. Yeah,
I know that was one of your favorites. So do you remember? So I remember we came down to check out the studio, and you obviously impressed us with your all your gear and the room and your anecdotes.
Yeah, sure.
And then soon thereafter
And plus, what about great food, man? I remember just walking to Little Tokyo to like snarf on something really good. That's just a good place to be.
Yeah, I told you it was an expensive session.
But not for me. I did not get rich on that record. Trust me, I've not gotten rich yet.
Yeah. So I think we came down and recorded on like a Saturday, Sunday. She had her band with Alejandra, Craig.
That's right. We set up on Friday.
Josh.
That's right. We set up on Friday.
Yanni.
Alejandra had her drums all set up, and I got the drum sounds.
Yeah.
Come on, hit that. Boom, boom. Psh, everything's like thumping. And then we recorded the first song. Was like about one of these intros where for 5 minutes in the song, it was like brushes about like this.
Yeah, I think.
And we're going to tape. And it was already the digital era, but we're going to tape because we wanted that big warm sound. But, I mean, I had to kind of readjust to get those mic pre's to be not so hissy because it was all tape, right? And then the end of the song was like really loud.
Yeah, I think that was Send My Love. I think that's the song. It begins slowly and then it builds up really rocks at the end.
It was an engineering challenge.
Yeah. I think you put like compressors on top of compressors on top of compressors or something.
No, I would never do that. Because
No?
I would just add to the noise floor, but I think
Okay.
I probably just screamed at Alejandra, and I do sorry for that. That was probably, they really shouldn't have, because you played great. It wasn't
her fault.
It wasn't you. So
it's just how the song goes. So.
But, at the end of the day, I think it's still a pretty good record. No? And I like it. I haven't heard it in a while, but I'm going to...
It was a step up for Dafni from the one we did at home. And the songs got better, and then she had a proper band.
I remember. I haven't listened to this since like 2006 or 7, but I can tell you this. There's a couple. I remember loving Norma.
Yeah.
And then. Yeah, it's all good. I remember them.
There's one song that. Maybe we're getting ahead of ourselves, but you had your friend Carter William Humphrey remix the song Dance. There was some problems with that song.
Was there?
Yeah, we'll get to it. We'll get to it a bit later.
I just talked to Carter the other day.
Okay. I don't think I ever met him, but.
Oh, was it a timing thing?
It was just. It was to do with the drums were not like right on the beat.
Yeah, so
you said this song is called Dance. It needs to be a song you can dance to.
I remember that.
There was kind of some arguments.
And that was the infancy of like, and he was really good at cutting to a grid, and I was an analog guy. I think
he was had been working with on the Rod Stewart albums or something at the time.
Yeah, I just talked about him yesterday because some guys came in here that work at. So they go to MI, and they're gonna help me on some live gigs coming up, and we just talked about him because is Carter one of your teachers? Like, oh yeah, we have him for blah blah blah. Like he's teaching at MI now.
Oh, yeah. I don't think Dafni ever met him, but he worked on that. That's kind of getting ahead of ourselves. Trying to think if you have any recollections of the sessions, for all this session that weekend maybe. It's a long time ago. But yeah, we set up the drums on the Friday.
Pretty good sized band, right? Did we track it all live, or did we just do the drums and?
We only tracked the drums and bass on that weekend.
And Dafni playing guitar, probably.
Everyone played, and then they all came back in and
did overdubs. So we tracked it all, but we didn't get good keeper tracks on stuff until we overdubbed some stuff.
I don't know. That was just, I think that was always the intention. But
sometimes you get lucky, though.
But maybe, I don't know in hindsight if if we should have just recorded everything live. I think that might have been.
That's kind of like how I.
But Dafni wasn't like her band probably wasn't tight enough at the time.
Kind of. I remember. Okay.
And I think everybody like had no experience in the studio.
Well, including me. I'm just a salesman.
No, you knew what you were doing. I think Dafni didn't know. I was just like, and also like playing along to a click. I think
we probably scrapped the click in a couple.
If we should have just avoided playing to a click, I think everything would have been a little bit. The band could have probably played live.
But then Carter wouldn't have been able to cut dance to the click, and we would have been.
Yeah,
that's a double-edged sword. I tend to like to not cut to a click if it's a rock band or a band that has a great rhythm section. Like, I mean, I've been cutting tracks in here with, in my humble opinion, the best drummer and bass player in town these days, and they've been last session we did no click, and I mean it just feels beautiful.
Yeah,
so it just depends.
The EP you recorded for Dafni, that was done without a click too. So I think it sounds better. I think if a band is just playing live, I think, and you capture
there's
that
probably
vibe.
10 years. There's a decade in between,
and
there's like the band was good, and the songs are just like I mean, she became a fantastic writer. I mean, this stuff's great, but she got better.
She did. I think this was like the last of the after the next few albums, it was like all just cream, cream.
Yeah.
And it was just it was necessary to do.
Well,
I think just the
studio.
I think the studio inexperience is the main thing. When I listen to it, I think, that maybe her vocal. She could have sung a bit more confidently on some of the songs, or.
But I think it's I have pistachio nuts in my teeth. I think it's the songs, man. I mean, studio schmudio. I mean, like, you come in with something good and you can kind of capture it. We just, before we started recording this, we just listened to a bunch of my stuff. The whole record I produced the heck out of, and then the demos. I mean, I like the demos better. They're better songs. Yeah. That's the deal.
Yeah, good songs. Yeah, that's all you need, really, isn't it? Record them well. Yeah. Good song recorded well.
Yeah, you hear the vocal, hear the words, sing in key.
Well, Daphne's always had very clear vocals.
Oh, she's a great singer.
You can always understand every word she says, I think, on every record. Yeah. That kind of vocal.
And that's good, because, like, she has something to say.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That's great. That was around the time when we got married. So she was doing a I think when she wrote the songs, she was doing a postdoc in pharmacology at UCLA, and she hated it. And then she had problems with her brother. So a lot of those songs
are Blue-Eyed Boy about her brother.
I think 3 or 4 of the songs are about her brother.
Yeah.
Some of the
he
songs
was kind of a runaway
about
sort of
her.
Or something.
And some of the songs are about how much she hates her job, and some it's a little bit. It's kind of negativity, I think, to the lyrics of that record.
Well,
but it was honest. That was what's going on. That was honest what's going on.
Night, like heroin music that just makes me sad. So it's probably why I liked it.
I think Daphne's fits in that genre.
No, not at all. No, the thing I like about Dafni, and it carried on through all of them, because I've heard stuff off of each record, in my opinion, was the just she's a very patient writer within her songs. Like she had a way of holding back and then hitting the chorus in a way that, like, you were really ready for. Like, it's just really interesting. It's unique. It's just really cool stuff. Like, it's just, she was patient. It was like the song was good and it did what it had to do the way she wanted it to do, and it wasn't like a lot of young bands or whatever come like they kind of, no, I've got to put something here to do. It's like her stuff had this space that was just unique, cool stuff, man. I mean, that's how I've always heard it.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because you're a songwriter yourself, and
dabbling,
and you do all the engineering and stuff, so you must hear tons of bands.
I
know you kind of were very complimentary to Dafni about her style, even in the Drifting in Circles days. I think I remember you were saying that that she needs to get people playing with her who are into her stuff, and that you didn't feel that her band was like that. I don't know, that they weren't right for her music.
But when she Jeff and who came later?
Jeff and Mark.
I mean, those guys, they played great together. And then she'd get, like, Boy Genius guitar players to sit in, or read gigs, and it was just really.
Oh yeah, I think once we got established in the cinema bar scene, it was...
Yeah.
At this time, she didn't really... She was just making the record without really having
an
audience or knowing other
and
musicians.
Don't we all do that? Like, I mean, I did... My first record was pieced together. I made it in Tucson, drove out, had players come out for the session, had players there that I knew that played the rhythm section, and then you piece it all together. And at the end of the day, it kind of comes off like that, you know. And then sometimes... and then sometimes it's good to have a rehearsed band, but like, who can afford that? You know.
Yeah, they were kind of rehearsed, I think, that band. And I remember it sounded really good in the rehearsal room, and then just get to the studio, it's like...
Yeah, well, hey...
Now it's you know...
I know up is louder, but beyond that, like, you know, come on.
I don't know, something just happened. I think it was just playing with the click. Once the drummer is kind of listening to the click more than the band, it's kind of... it throws everybody
off. It really
right?
gets down to the cue mix, and I have to say, like, downtown, I don't know if I had the best... cue mix. It's probably boxes I built with like a crown amp or something the way we used to do it, but like some of the modern stuff, you know, like with this, like I'm tracking digital and I'm using that hearback system, you know, I can give the players, they can make their own mix. So the drummer wants to click louder and everybody, you know, they can get happy, which is a really beautiful thing. I mean, being able to give the band their own mix is great, and being able to give the band their own mix sucks, because if, you know, they're typically like, I don't know, like, I mean, they're asking more questions and I usually have to go out and make the mix for everybody anyway, but, you know, because they're not engineers, but it is kind of nice to have that control over the stuff, you know, when you're out there playing. And I don't like things loud, so, I mean, I monitor very quietly in here, and when I'm tracking, I have headphones that sort of block everything out, so I can make a nice quiet mix and get it exactly how I want to hear it, with, you know, in the room, even with drums, the headphones I have block out the drums, so 29 dB of protection or something, so you can stand in the room with, you know, a drummer and not want to kill him. You know, it's good. Anyway,
I'm trying to think of some more
questions about Dafni.
Well, I'm just trying to think myself about the sessions. I know when we were mixing, it was always we'd have to go into our rented car to listen to the mix.
Yeah,
those burn them onto CDs. You know, it just took forever.
And remember that funky room, that control room? Like, I mean, I built that control room, and it was pretty cool. It sounded pretty good in there.
Yeah,
but like, I don't know if it was like accurate. Like this room, I kind of tuned and built accurately with the help of actually a guy who just passed away, John, helped me design the room, and then his buddy Chuck built it, and then I had some guys come in and finish it out. But like the angles are like. I don't really do that. I don't play that game anymore. Like, I hand people mixes. I don't even go out and check them, because like they're just. I know this room. It sounds really good. And they come back in. It's great. It's like, okay, we move on. You know, or we need to vocalize, whatever it is. But you know, it's pretty close in here to accurate, which is a very helpful thing. When both sides of the glass sort of tell the truth, it makes your job as an engineer a little bit easier. You know.
Yeah, I just remember we had like a different car every time we went down, and you know.
We didn't know. Cars.
We didn't have a car at the time.
Yeah, you guys were like the public transit. You guys were so ahead of the modern LA, man. You didn't even know it. Like I mean, had Uber been around when you guys were here, like you'd have been dangerous.
I don't even know why we rented cars just to go downtown. We could have just taken the bus, but I think Dafni was playing gigs, and we kind of thought, well, we'll get a car, and then she went up to Santa Barbara or somewhere and played a gig, and so we kind of combine it.
Right, and then, you know, renting people with accents, cars that never drive, is like, in LA, it's kind of. That's pretty dangerous too, right?
People with accents? You mean me?
You're a good driver, right?
Yeah.
All right.
No accidents. Dafni didn't drive at the time. She got her license when she was 40. Like a couple of days before she turned 40. So
that's really amazing, isn't it?
And then, well, that was towards the end of her life, so and then never really drove. She was just, the challenge of getting her license was the thing she wanted to achieve.
So she took like driver's ed and went around.
Yeah, she took lessons. She had a teacher.
My kid drives in the driveway. Yeah. He's 9.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I didn't say that on the air here.
It's okay.
I mean, he's sitting on my lap. I'm doing the pedal and brake. He's steering.
Oh, everyone does that when they're a kid.
Yeah, but he's been doing it since he was like 3, though.
Yeah, I just remember you were saying, you know, to listen to the mixes, you know, you have to know what your stereo sounds like in the car. And we had a new one every time, and it was always like dialed with rentals, you know, they're all dialed in with the, I don't know.
Who do we get to master this?
That was Jonathan Belsley, I think, at Lipson mastering.
Oh,
I think we all went over there, and I think
so. This was right after I did my first record. No, this is way
I think
before.
it might be before.
How did we get Jonathan? Oh,
did he master one of your records too?
Oh, you know what it was? It was the record I did with Solomon Burke's kid. It was that Position record, because Gavin did that. That's how I learned about Lipson. Yeah, you introduced
Brian. Well, Brian Robbins, who was Dafni's guitar teacher, he came in and played guitar on this overdub guitar on 3 of the songs, and banjo, and he knew Gavin. They played together.
Oh, okay.
So he introduced Dafni to Gavin.
Okay, because I think Bob had. That's probably why it sounds so good. That's a good mastering place. I think Bob, who mixed the stuff that we did with JR, that's how I met Gavin, because he mastered that record. We went over there. And it was like, what's funny about that is, like, you know, the mastering world, because I'm kind of like, pretty, like, I mean, free food, come on, man. Like, I didn't realize that, you know, when you go to, it wasn't at Lipson. Gavin was working for Doug Sachs at the mastering lab at the time.
Yeah, it was still the mastering lab, that's right.
So, but I remember going there with Bob, and it was like, they hand around a time menu, we're working on this record, and they hand out this time, and I was like, oh, I'll get like an egg roll. And then Bob's like, they pay. I'm like, oh, I'll have some pad thai.
Oh, yeah?
I didn't know, you know.
I didn't think we got any fruit.
Because you got the nighttime Jonathan deal. All the restaurants were closed.
We didn't get the
yeah, you didn't pay like $1,800. You paid $800. There's a difference. Yeah. You get food with the, you know, those places. But nowadays, it's after COVID, especially, like, you just, like, I just had my Stephen Marsh just did my new record, and I mean, you just send them files, you upload them on his FTP, and that's it. You get them back and stuff. You don't go there and like hang out, which I kind of like hanging out in different places, you know, like to have to do with like audio gear, because like freaking knobs and stuff, I just dig it.
Yeah, that was always, I liked when we went to the mastering sessions.
Yeah,
because you hear it with, you know, these enormous speakers, and and you hear it. That's the way it's supposed to sound. Right. That day in that room.
Yeah.
Then when you hear the CD on your own speaker at home, it's like not going to sound that good.
You know,
it's just
for
like,
me,
oh, this is like
for me, like, you just heard my new record and you heard my new demos, and we talked about voice and blah blah blah. But sonically, they're probably both fine. But by the time I'm done with a record, it sounds like a mechanic shop to me. It doesn't sound like a record anymore because I'm sick of it.
Yeah,
like, you know. That's it. I don't want it.
But that was always, well, maybe for me. Maybe I'm not a musician, so it's not my record. So I always like to go and hear it in the actual mastering room, because that's how it sounds its best.
And know that everybody else is going to enjoy it on this speaker right here.
And they're not going to hear it quite. It's like, but there's
earbuds.
There is bass on there. Trust me, there is bass.
Well, isn't it fun? Well, okay, so I have a song on my new record called "Old Blue Marantz," and I just had a guy. I'm trying to find a radio guy, and I was talking to a guy in Nashville, and we were talking, and this guy's older than me, and he's like, "What's a Marantz?" I'm like, "Are you kidding?" Like, you know, right? Like those old blue like stereo receivers we all had in the '70s. Like I still have mine. You know, that's what that song's about. And anyway, but he didn't know that. He said, "Oh, I was gigging all the time in the '70s. I didn't like have stereo." And I'm like, "Okay, you're forgiven, I guess." Anyway,
well, I think maybe we've talked about everything about
that first record.
Yeah.
Well, the only thing.
Is there anything else you want to?
Well,
mention?
I think if we're gonna, you're gonna
talk a bit about the individual songs if you like.
Well, I wish I had I wish I had this up. Like, you know, the tape is
had
somewhere. A high budget documentary, but I'd have to align my machine to that tape if I can find the tape, and then I'd probably have to bake it because it was. We cut this on used tape, right?
Yeah.
We got it from that guy at the at Tape. What was his name?
I have no idea. You dealt with that stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, it was not the best batch of used tape I got. I thought that tape was a little bit noisy, just a little bit. Do you find this record a little bit noisy?
I guess that's normal.
I think
it's a bit noisy.
Jonathan cleaned it up pretty good.
Yeah, I think it sounds pretty good.
And I think that we did a pretty good job with gates and like you know, doing like, I didn't have automation, but we'd be like, you know, so the drums are out, we'd have them out, okay, and then boom, and then that way, like, oh, and then we got to mute that guitar when it's done. You know, we did like the two-fisted. We probably
there
mixed
was
that
a
way.
lot of.
Yeah, I loved mixing that way. Actually, there's something about those mixes. Like I listen to mixes like I did like in the 80s, 90s, and towards 2000, before like Pro Tools and before automated consoles and stuff. I mean, they had them already, but I didn't have one. You know, and there's something about like two-fisted automation I still kind of like. You know, but
I remember there was a lot of punching in
on the mix. Yeah,
just for when you were recording. I mean, when you were recording.
Oh yeah, well,
like
that's my remote right there. Show that's the tape.
This thing, that's the same one.
On that remote, I can still to this day, you know, like punch on a dime and give you 5 cents change.
I just remember how impressive it was. It was just like one screechy note or something on the guitar,
if you mess
and
up,
you just go pow pow.
But today, if you mess up on Pro Tools, you go, "Oh, I messed it up. Let me drag it back over there." Okay,
yeah.
So you've been on that. If you messed it up, you lost the track. You know.
Yeah.
So like, if you had to clean something up, like there's a vocal you want to clean up the beginning, but if you didn't get out in time, and then sometimes the relay, I mean, I know that gets out on time. You get out right on the beat, and then the client's like, "Oh, you went out." And now the relay's a little bit behind, but it's out, and then you play it back, and you're good. You know, it's like scary stuff, man.
Yeah, I remember that happened a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
On Dafni's vocals,
probably took some time off of my existence because it's like pretty stressful.
If she sang like a note that was a bit flat or something, you know, you just punch that
in,
and then it's you don't even notice. It's amazing. It just sounds.
You know,
you used to say I don't know, this ain't a hobby or something. You used to say
this ain't no part-time job.
That's the one. Yeah, probably you're still using that to this day, right?
Probably, yeah. I'm a creature of habit.
All right. Is there anything else you want to talk about those sessions?
So that session was at the downtown studio.
Yeah.
And in 2007, but prior to 2007, I mean, when you guys came in, I think the neighborhood was changing. It was probably difficult to park, but not crazy.
Yeah, it was, that Verse Cookie wasn't there, and they weren't.
Syark moved in at the end of the block, on the end of 3rd, where, what's that street? Tractions here, and the other street is I can't even. I can't remember the name of it. But
is it a numbered street?
No, it was the one that goes by the train tracks.
I don't know.
Might have been first, but it changes. Anyway, no, those go this way. It was not Traction.
It's okay. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
we can look at it.
Doesn't matter. Syark moved into that building that used to look like a train station, but it was by the tracks, but on this side of the tracks. And then when that happened, like the rents just, like everybody started buying the buildings. Like 2 or 3 developers came in and bought every building there and started kicking artists out. And it was like the big, gentrification of the downtown artist loft district, which everything started spreading south towards like the rougher area. Little Tokyo wasn't rough enough, although, I mean, here, like in Sunland, like I step in dog poo at the park. Like there it was homeless people poo, which it washes off the same, but yeah, it was, when I first took that studio, it was like a demilitarized zone. I mean, there was nothing there. It was like sort of like the Wild West with like homeless people and crack dealers. And then like, I think it was, when was the big OJ death ride? I wasn't doing a session at that. Like a month or 2 before that, the guy next door to me got shot and killed like in his loft. Like but he was selling crack and somebody came in and shot him and his homeless girlfriend, and then he took a cab ride home and shot the cab driver, and then he went up and smoked crack and then got arrested. It was like a really bad day for a lot of people.
That was when OJ?
It was before that. So
that was like in the mid-90s.
90s, yeah. I've been there a while. So, but the neighborhood kept getting better. So by the time you guys came there, it was kind of nice, We walked a little Tokyo. It was great. Walked a little Tokyo.
It was a little rough. Some homeless people, but it wasn't.
Well,
terrible.
Towards the end, like it got. I mean, I knew all the homeless people there. As a matter of fact, one of those guys, what's his name? I saw one of those guys on the First 48, the show about people that get killed and how to solve a murder. He had always talked about his sister in Florida, and the show was from Florida, and he got killed. That homeless guy, I forget his name, man. Is Israel? Israel got killed in Florida. He was on First 48. I saw the guy and they said his name and it was like, oh my God, that is him. It looked just, I mean, it's like, wow, he's a nice guy. Some of the guys were nice. And Frank, the guy that made the bracelets, remember Frank?
No,
you never bought a Frank bracelet?
No, but Israel, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, he probably came around. He'd be like,
oh wow.
Yeah, he I think he finally hopped a train to Florida and scored and got killed, man. Like this is how I think it went down.
Wow.
But from what I gathered from the TV show,
So then you
anyway,
you had to get kicked.
2007 came along, and I lost my lease in 2007, and I had nowhere to go. My buddy is the manager of downtown rehearsal, so I took a room there to put all my gear because I had, I don't know, shameless plug for the studio, but I have about every vintage guitar and amp made, and I kind of had to store them somewhere. So I bought these two huge gray, like, they were I don't know what they must have had jumbotrons in them or something, but they were like, I figured out how to lock them and chain them together, and they wouldn't fit through the door of downtown rehearsal because I was worried about leaving all my gear there unattended, you know. So I took off the door jamb, got the cases in, put all my guitars and amps in them, locked them up, and then put the door jamb back on. So I thought, like, if they could break the door jamb off, unlock those, and get through, like, they deserve, like, the vintage guitars and amps, you know. I felt pretty secure then. So stuff sat for a year. I had a little mix room there. I didn't do anything, and I took a job in the private sector, like I was managing a sound company, and then that I hated that gig, and then ended up I got married to the most amazing girl on earth, and we bought this house, and then I kind of built a studio. In the meantime, about a year after that, I got a new studio way out in the valley. Partnered up with a guy who it wasn't such a good situation for either of us, and I won't go into it. I'm not going to badmouth anybody, and that ended. And then I built this place, and in the meantime, I wasn't working at the sound place. I started teaching recording engineering at a college. Mm-hmm. Was doing that while I built a room, and then once I built the room, I thought long and hard. I wanted to dial the room in with a client that would be a chill session, that I would know people. We could do it kind of quickly, and maybe offer a free weekend or two and get a record done, and have something to put up on a website. This is what the new room sounds like, and, you know, Dafni was at the top of the short list, and I called her, and she said yeah, and then I think it took like a year to get in here, and then I think it took like another 2 years to finally get, you know, the thing done.
So that was 2013 when she finally came in.
Yeah, we bought this house in May. We closed in May of 2012, and then my kid was born June of 2012, and I didn't do construction until 2013, so it was probably 2013.
Yeah, that's how I remember it.
Yeah.
And between then, you and Dafni kind of stayed friends, right? You played gigs and stuff,
I mean, we did some shows, and I come to see her and stuff, and we talk,
Yeah.
and we, like, I mean, I don't think, honestly, I don't think I would be my little songwriting, go out and play shtick, and the open mics I host, and the song circles I host, and the stuff that I do, and the records I don't think I'd be doing it without Dafni, because I was like a closet songwriter with a horrible voice, and like Dafni heard me sing, she's like, no, you don't have a horrible voice, you should come open for me. I was like, I know, I was scared shitless at the cinema, and I brought like a lot of people, remember that? Like, I had like a shitload of people there that night, the first night I played out, and it was like, and then everybody clapped, so then I got a big head, shit, so now I just do it. So it's cool. Kind of her fault.
Yeah, I remember she was very complimentary about your songs, and you were like, I don't know, what am I going to do with this? Well, I'm not a songwriter, a singer.
Right, exactly.
And she was like, these are good songs.
Well, I've always been a songwriter, but I've just never been a singer. And then, I'm too big of a jerk to be in a band with a good singer, so I had to kind of start singing, you know, like, because I don't really like people that much. So. Yeah,
so you guys kept in touch during that whole period between like 2005 and 2013. It wasn't like that you just didn't.
Oh, not at all. No.
Have any contact.
I would run into her at the cinema, and I think I came to some of her shows. I think I played some of the shows.
There were like some songwriter nights and things.
Yeah. I met a lot of people through her. She's such a connector.
Yeah.
I played a show with Ruth Ann Friedman at that coffee gallery. I met her through Dafni. I played a show with who else? There's like everybody. Dan Janish played my song circle. So did some other people I know a bunch of other people from the cinema that I would have never met or known, you know. And I didn't really know them, but I kind of know them just because, you know, it's like a pretty small thing, you know. Like, and I've always felt like the rank outsider anyway, which is fitting that my last record was on Rank Outsider.
Right. So the EP that Dafni recorded, let's get on to that.
Yeah.